Now we have a very special guest for you here on Sky Sports News. I'm not talking about Jerry Francis. He's here at 7:30. We are joined, though, right now by WWE superstar Kane. He's here to preview this month's Summerslam. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. I mean, how are you? I mean, you've literally just arrived. How are you feeling?
I came in last night. I'm feeling great, actually.
See much of London? I guess you haven't seen much of London
so far. Not too much. But I've been here other times, so on the other trips I have.
Tell us about why you're here, Kane. Tell us about WWE Summerslam.
Well, we're having, the biggest party this summer will be August 23rd. It's live on Sky Box Office at 1 a.m., Summerslam. And then in November, we have a live tour from November 4th to the 15th of 14 shows throughout the UK. And that's the Undertaker's Revenge Tour, which will have 4 dates with SmackDown, which is the WWE brand that I'm on.
Where's SummerSlam's concerned, though? Who are you going to be facing there?
I'm not sure yet, but so far my path is crossed with the great Khali. And,
wow.
It looks like it's leaning that way.
That would be some clash, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be. It's a literal clash of the titans.
And of course, you'd come out on top, surely.
Well, of course.
Plenty of viewer emails are coming into us, Kane, as they do when you wrestlers are in the studio. One from Zach in Stockport, who said, "I'd like to know how you become a pro wrestler." So if you were giving advice to a youngster, what would you say? How to
well,
get
first
into
of all, I'd have to tell Zach that not to try doing what we do at home, because we're trained professionals and you would probably get hurt doing that. But WWE actually has tryouts, and we have our own schools and our own programs that someone could apply to and go through to become
How
WWE
tricky
superstar.
is it, though, to get into?
Well, back when I got in, it was a little different than it is now. You had to work your way up through smaller territories and companies before you got to WWE. And like I said, now it's just different. It's just different.
Now, listen, Kane, yesterday we were talking about the Arsenal football team, and they were talking about some of their players being a little smaller than they used to. So we had a size matters debate about football. I know a lot of your fans, they'll know exactly your stats, but just talk. I mean, you're one of the biggest guests we've ever had in the studio by a long, long way. Just talk us through your vital stats.
I am about 7 feet tall and weigh over 300 pounds. So I would be a good addition to the Arsenal football team.
You would.
Arsene Wenger needs to sign you right away.
Yeah, we got his number. We'll give him a ring very shortly. Well, as we said, we've got plenty of questions being emailed in and texted in. Thanks very much for these. Dale Smith from Rochdale says, who is your biggest inspiration as a young wrestler?
I think, like many other people, is Hulk Hogan, because when I was in college and watching wrestling, Hulk Hogan was just, I mean, he was one of the greatest entertainers in the world, and the WWF at the time was on top of the world. So I'd have to say, as far as getting into wrestling, I think it was Hulk Hogan, because we all wanted to be Hulk Hogan.
Simon's just been talking about football and Arsenal Football Club, but Jack from Cardiff says, I'd like to know if you were interested in any other sports when you were younger.
Yeah,
Football,
I played basketball and American football. Never soccer. Never soccer.
You must have been brilliant at basketball, weren't you?
I was pretty good. I was pretty good at American football, too.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, I can see the basketball a little bit with the height, obviously, you just stood by the net, but American football, you must have been some player.
I was pretty good, because I was big and I could move. And
did many get past you?
I was actually an offensive tackle, which
means
I blocked for the other people. So.
Okay.
Did you ever have to make a choice between that and wrestling?
No.
Did it get to that stage? No.
No, never got to that stage. I'd already decided I was going to get into wrestling and quit football.
Dion in Hitchin, Kane, says, who is the superstar in the locker room that you respect the most?
The Undertaker, by far. And I think almost everyone in the locker room would say that.
Why him above anyone else?
Well, he's been a huge influence on my career. You know, I had my big break with him, basically. And then also just his professionalism and the attitude that he brings to the locker room.
Now, what about this mask that you used to wear? Do you still wear it?
No.
Will you ever put it back on? That's one of the
I may put it back on. We have a saying in WWE of never say never. So
why did it come off in the first place?
Well, I lost a mask. I'm sorry, I lost a match, and then I lost my mask, and that was a stipulation of the match. If I lost the match, I lost the mask.
Right.
Say that a bunch of times fast.
Raphael from Sheffield says, I'd like to know how you relax outside of the ring. What are your kind of interests? What does life look like for you outside the ring?
I read a lot, and I'm actually a bit of a hermit, I would say, away from the ring. So.
You mean a quiet life? You mean everything we see in the ring at home, it's all completely different?
Yeah, I get my aggressions out in the ring. So, yeah.
Who's your favourite author?
Who's my favorite author? J.R.R. Tolkien and The Lord of the Rings.
Heavy stuff.
I've just discovered Jack Reacher. Do you read Jack Reacher?
No.
Oh.
Nor do I. You're in good company.
Trying to say he's brilliant to everybody. I know I can't stop talking about him at the moment.
Right.
Where did you get your nickname, Big Red Machine?
It was from Jim Ross, who's one of our commentators, and Jim's a big wrestling fan. I'm sorry, of course he's a big wrestling fan. He's a big sports fan, and it came from the Cincinnati Reds, which were the when they won the World Series a number of times in the late '70s. They were called the Big Red Machine.
This is from Jonathan in Edinburgh. It says, what's your most memorable matchup of all time?
It was beating Stone Cold Steve Austin for the World Championship.
Why does that one stand out more than any other?
Because I won the World Championship.
Just simple as that.
Yeah, it's the highlight of anyone's career.
Martin in Nottingham says, my question for Kane regards his brief but all-important tag team with X-Pac during the early part of 1999. I'd like to know if X-Pac did indeed teach Kane how to love.
How to love? No.
And if so, how? But then I think you've just answered the first part.
Yeah.
He says, this is from Nathan Hayden from Sheffield, says, don't get Kane mad, he might choke slam you, and I think he should play for Manchester United. Crikey, we've had Arsenal, we've had Manchester United, we've had all of them this afternoon, Kane. He says, are you a good football player? And he's obviously referring to what you in America call soccer.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a go, and if so, how do you fare?
Not since I was a little bitty kid. I think I'd do okay, though, because I just run everybody over. So, I think I'd be all right.
What does the choke slam look like?
I grab the person by the throat and lift them up and throw them down.
Simple as that?
Pretty simple.
It's simple if you're 7
Well,
foot.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Like you.
It's beautiful and it's simplistic.
Don't ask for a demonstration, Simon.
Georgie would have to see it demonstrated.
On you.
I never said that.
Christopher Butchers from Norwich says, if you could pick any wrestler, past or present, to beat for the world title, who would it be?
Andre the Giant, because I never even met Andre, and of course he's a legend in our industry. So if there was just one person that I could have a match with, past or present, it'd be him.
Lots of talk in sport right across the board as the money increases across the board in a whole variety of sports, and lots of concentration on players' diets and the kind of things that they eat and intake to keep at the very top of their game. What does your diet look like? What is your daily intake?
I eat a lot. And
I thought
eat
you
often.
might say that. Yeah.
But I eat pretty clean, low fat, high protein, and moderate carbohydrates.
But when you say a lot, what kind of quantities are we talking?
I probably eat 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day. So that's quite a bit.
So that's about 3 times more than the average human being.
Yeah, probably.
Wow. It's a lot of chicken breast fillets, isn't it? How do you keep fit? What's your exercise regime like?
I work out 5 or 6 days a week, and I work out for a couple hours a day in the gym. Do 45 minutes to an hour of cardio and then lift weights after that.
See, now when you're lifting weights, what do you lift normally?
What do I lift? A couple of sugar bags, a couple of light dumbbells, 10 press-ups, a few sit-ups.
What are you talking about in weight, though?
Oh, for what, an arm curl?
Yeah, something like that.
Probably on the bar about 30, which is nothing.
See, now
30 kilos.
Simon's fit, so what are you doing?
I'll do about, I don't know, on a curl, probably 140 pounds, 150 pounds, which is going to be like, 60, 70 kilos.
Wow. And what about injuries over time? Have they taken their toll on you at all?
I've had a few injuries, but I've been fortunate. I haven't been hurt that many times. I've torn my bicep tendon, broke my hand. Other than that, I've actually been relatively okay.
It's fairly dangerous stuff out there, isn't it? Just tell us what's going on here. You can maybe see it in that camera up there.
Right now, yeah, I'm in a drop kick fit in the face, Finley. So that's what's going on right there.
Let's have another question on the emails. George, Kane, you've had a long time in WWE, loads of titles, including this championship and the Intercontinental title as well. However, will there ever be an end to your reign of terror?
There may be some point in the future, but
does the body ever tell you to stop?
Mine hasn't yet.
Is that what normally happens with wrestling?
Well, yeah. I think in some cases, the guys just can't perform up to a level that they want to anymore. And if that ever happens with me, then it'll be time for me to go as well.
Now, you've been saying recently that the SmackDown, I think you alluded this to a little bit earlier, is not big enough for you and the great Khali. Have you got a message for him right now if he's sat somewhere watching this?
Yeah, he better watch out, because I'm coming for him sooner or later, and we're going to finish what we started.
Say that right down that camera in front of you. Give him a message right now here on Sky Sports News.
Right now.
Right now.
To the great Khali. Khali, you better watch your back, because I'm coming for you.
Oh, Khali's probably quaking in his boots.
I'll tell you what, if I heard those words, I would be on my way. Just as we finish off, Kane, what have you got planned now over the next few days? How do things pan out now you're in London?
Well, actually, it's just a very busy promotional times, and I'll be here for 2 more days, and then I'll be heading home and back to WWE.
Kane, thanks so much for joining us in the studio. I hope you enjoy your time in London as
Thanks
well.
for
You
having
can
me.
see one of the biggest pay-per-views on the wrestling calendar, WWE Summerslam, live from 1 a.m. early in the hours of Monday morning, August the 23rd, Sky Box Office.